Prosecutor's Office. My unit will handle all sexual assaults where the victim is currently 16 and up. So even if it's a delayed reported from when the incidents were going on when the victim was a child, if they're reporting as an adult, it will come to my unit. We also handle all types of indecent and aggravated indecent exposures throughout the county. And we also handle all types of human trafficking cases throughout the county, which is a wide variety of types of cases that come to us. We probably receive anywhere between 400 and 500 warrant requests a year, and we are a unit of about 6 people. So the 6 of us are working pretty hard nonstop. Early morning hours, late nights, and almost every weekend. It's a very busy unit, but it's a very important unit, and we do some really, really important and really great work in Lincoln.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to call on Terry Anderson to come up for a minute. I just want you to talk about what you do. If you're in the audience, be prepared to be called on.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm what's referred to as a docket attorney in the General Trials Division of the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. We're all under the Chief of General Trials, who is Jerry Doris, who was introduced to you earlier tonight. In the General Trials Unit, we handle almost all cases that come through the office in some way or form. And we staff each and every courtroom in the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice with an attorney, an assistant prosecuting attorney. We as docket attorneys supervise those attorneys. Myself, I have 5 courtrooms that I supervise. We have Frank Simone, who's here tonight, who's another docket attorney. Frank has about 5 courtrooms that he supervises also. And what we do as docket attorneys, we receive all of the cases into the General Trials Unit. We disseminate them by floor. We're available to defense attorneys to come in, and we're the first line to try to, in the General Trials Unit, try to resolve the cases. We talk to many defense attorneys all day long to try to see if there's something that we can work out to keep the trial, to settle the trial before it actually goes to trial. Because as Prosecutor Worthy indicated, we have far too many trials, far too many cases to go to trial on every one. It's physically impossible for us to trial those cases. So as docket attorneys, part of our job is to see if there's a resolution that we can reach that we feel is fair and just. We have to talk to all of the victims to get their input, and we talk to defense lawyers, we talk to our assistant prosecutors, attorneys, and see what type of case we have, because the assistant prosecuting attorney is the one who generally has the closest relationship with the victim. They're working the actual files. Another thing that we do as docket attorneys is we try to resolve cases through what we call a gun board. Gun board is a collection of all the docket attorneys, and many of the supervisors here come and represent their units, where if a person is charged with a gun, typically you hear of a felony firearm charge. We look at those cases and see if there's any way that we can offer a resolution to that case that will include the mandatory 2 years for the felony firearm. We see approximately, we're 5 docket attorneys, and we all have about 10 cases per week that we bring as a group, and we discuss them, plus the cases from all the other units.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Jerry, who's the chief of the division, do you have anything to add to that?
No, Terry did an excellent job.
I also want to take a moment to recognize our investigators here. We couldn't do the work that we did without our investigators, so if you would all stand, who work extremely hard. Some of our special investigations, assisting some of our departments, assisting our prosecutors, finding witnesses that can't be found. Every gamut of information that they do. So you would all stand. Tim, stand. You can stand before. Okay. All right. But Duke wants to hide. All right. Thank you very much. I want to move on now and talk about some of our diversion programs. And these are some of our programs that when we charge somebody with a crime, and we like to see if we can give certain people second chances. Our main diversion program out of the general trial division, out of the screening division, Gary, do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Thank you. Our diversion program is run out of the screening and district courts divisions run by Deputy Chief Bill Heapy. And if an individual commits a crime, for instance, a theft of crime, a shoplifting first, a felony offense, shoplifting with a value of the item over $1,000, let's say they do it in a Home Depot or Lowe's store, they have no prior convictions, first time mistake that they've made, they are going to be offered diversion from our office. And what will happen is we'll assess how much restitution, if any, is owed to the store or the victim of the offense. We'll interview the defendant, look at the prior record, see if this person is eligible for our diversion program. And if that person is eligible for the diversion program, they will be placed on a supervisory program within our office, like a probation, but it will be run out of our office. So once we've accepted that individual into the diversion program, that case is taken out of the criminal court and taken into our office. They serve the diversion. If they successfully complete it, they do not have a felony conviction. There's nothing that goes on the person's record. It doesn't even show up on the court's docket any longer because we dismiss it, suspend it, take it back, and then once the program is complete, the case is over and the individual does not have a felony conviction or any conviction as long as they complete our program. The person does not even have to plead guilty or no contest for the offense. It's never sentenced by the judge. We work and have our own program with that individual to make sure the program is completed.
Yes, and we feel, for example, if you're 45 years old, you commit a crime, and you have no other record at all, we feel that we can give you a second chance and we can successfully complete all the conditions of the program. And one of those conditions is always you must make the victim whole. And that's one of the main things we have. If you need to finish school or there's other, you're assessed by our office, and whatever we ask you to do, and if you do this successfully, then we will wipe out that case at the end of that year. And it's usually a year long. We also have a brand new program, and Joe, come back up here because I'm going to call you in a minute. We also have a brand new program out of our juvenile division called Talk It Out. And we launched this a few months ago, and Bob, if you want to talk about that, or Herbie, if you want to talk about that.
I think I'm loud enough that I don't feel my mic. As Prosecutor Worthy has indicated, when we have cases that involve children, oftentimes the victims of the offenses that those kids may have committed will come to us and say, I don't want to see this child have a record or get put into a placement or whatever, but I would like for that child to know the damage that he or her caused to us. So what we did with Talk It Out is that we formed a partnership with the Wayne County Dispute Resolution Center, and those cases are now going to mediation. And again, these are cases that are not going before a judge. There's really no record of them. We deny the petition request so that, that as long as the child, again, takes responsibility for what they did, the victim has an opportunity to, again, impress upon that child the consequences of their actions, then we've been able to, it's a very new program. We've actually had 2 cases completed already where both, when you look at the comments of both the children involved as well as the victims, they've just said it's been fantastic. So it's just another
and their parents have to agree to participate, and the victim has to agree to participate as well. And so they're mediating. We think this is a good solution. And at the end of that, if the child or the person under the age of 17 successfully completes it, they again won't have a record. So it's an opportunity for a second chance. We also have mental health court, Gary again, and drug court together.
Figured I'll go over some of all the specialty courts we have around the county. They also include mental health court, drug court, sobriety court, veterans court, community supervision court. So with all of these courts, what we're trying to do is fit a specific court program to a specific need that a defendant has. For instance, if a defendant is arrested multiple times for drunk driving, we know that that individual either has a drug problem or an alcohol problem that needs to be addressed. And the current regular probation supervision that they will have does not suffice. So this individual will have a specialized program run out of many of our district courts. For instance, the district court here in Taylor has a downriver sobriety court, which is very good. They take defendants from this region, and if you have an alcohol problem, you can go into that specialty court to address it, where you get treatment, services, and intense attention by the court, and also the judge is actively involved with the probationer's progress and supervision. So if the probationer does very well, they get benefits, tickets to games, and other benefits that the court will allow. But if they kind of fall off track, the court will sanction them. The biggest thing is to make sure the need is addressed, the addiction is overcome, and after they are done with the program, it's our hope that they graduate and will be able to overcome the addiction, and also not repeat the cycle of driving drunk and repeating the addiction that got them into the criminal justice system.
And perhaps killing somebody one day.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a veteran, there are veteran treatment courts that deal with PTSD and other veteran-related conditions. So if a veteran, let's say, has a drug problem or a mental illness, they have veterans courts, specifically one in Redford that does a very good job, and others are being created. One in Southgate now has a veterans court where a veteran who can be treated by the Veterans Administration and get the services that the individual will need. And also the drug court and the mental health court. One is in Wayne. We have one that just opened up in Harper Woods, and we have two, one in Highland Park and the other in 36th District Court that are going to be starting up. So if you have a mental illness, you can go into that court to make sure you get the treatment options that you need. You are in course with your treatment and medication and get the services hopefully you've been denied, and hopefully you can correct the condition that got you into the criminal justice system to begin with.
Thank you.